had people ask. I had people send in questions.
Oh
They're
my
like, "Oh,
God, that's
can
so
we?
fun.
Do you want to hear some audience questions?"
Hell yeah. I'll answer as many as I can as fast as I can.
All right.
This is
So
meat. This is my meat for the lioness right here.
I, I
It's
love.
raw meat for the luscious lioness. Arr, arr, give it to me. I'm hungry, Freddie.
I love it. All right. So we're going to go. So, number one question is Susan, I've heard on many podcasts that I should be trying to retain my semen for optimal sexual health. I've heard this can hyper age me and affect the way my cells actually age. What are your thoughts on semen retention?
Yeah. For a few people who, when they come, they cry or feel like shit, they should do semen retention. Everybody's wired a little bit differently. For the great bell curve, it's bullshit. If you want to retain the spermidine, putrescine, and spermine that are in your semen that help you with autophagy and 9 of the 12 hallmarks of aging, take Spermidine Life or my favorite, which is Oxford Health Span Spermidine, because they have a gluten-free chlorella version, and I'm gluten intolerant, as I think everyone is if they know it or
Mm-hmm.
not. So you don't have to do semen retention. That came from a 2,000-year-old Taoist practice. The Taoist, kings, if you will, the royalty, they had concubines. And they didn't give a shit if they lived or not. So they would do semen retention. They wouldn't give their concubines the semen. They would actually hold it themselves to live longer. The immortal, all that immortal work. And
Yeah.
the swishing it around in your mouth, and all of those kinds of things, the jade tigers, and all that stuff. You can come as much as feels good to you and doesn't diminish your energy. As a matter of fact, people who come more frequently have lower issues of prostate health. Also, while you're at it, get a prostate massage tool. I like the Vice 2 from Aneros, the Molto from Mystery Vibe, and the Plex from Hot Octopus. The Molto's the little tiny one. If you're like, I don't think I can stick that in me. The Vice 2 is like, I want the biggest freaking thing up my butt you can give me and make the vibration really strong. Do that while you're masturbating as well. So you're getting the prostate stimulation that's going to carry you through to your hundreds.
Wow, fascinating. There's so much. This is a very common question is prostate health. This is very common, especially on social media. People say, I'm doing all the biohacking. I got all my diet in check and my prostate, my PSA is going up and I'm worried about it.
Yeah.
And I've heard people say, I've got relief from the pain and the amount of times that I'm getting up to urinate from a prostate massage.
BPH.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
BPH.
really
Benign
fascinating.
prostatic hyperplasia is what that's called. You don't want
Fascinating.
that.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Mm-mm.
And I love now. Do you have when you mention a tool or a toy or a technique? Is there one website where people can go? Do you
Yes.
have these posted somewhere?
Orgasmiccrosstraining.com has all the links to anything I'll mention.
Okay, great.
You know
I
I'm
just
organized, Freddie.
I know you are, and as likewise, I have a store, but there are, I don't. I have no sexual biohacking tools in there. I had one that I had experimented with. There was a device called the Phoenix.
Oh yeah, Phoenix was great.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
broke on me. It broke on me, and the company was changing around a lot. There was like a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
legal stuff going
I
on, so I
know.
never and they would not come on the podcast. It was some type of thing where they couldn't
Mhm.
express their opinions about their own product, so it just fell by the wayside. But I had a couple friends get it, and they were actually impressed. I probably did 8 sessions with it, and for people at home, it's like
Mhm.
imagine holding a banana and the banana is going to represent a penis, and you're kind of going up and down this banana like a jackhammer, getting all the lines.
Mhm.
Like, you're 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock,
Mhm.
12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And you do that a couple times for like 20 minutes. And yeah, I noticed more blood flow. I noticed my penis was straighter
Mhm.
and it was really fascinating. It felt like it felt like it was doing something.
Yeah, that's acoustic wave technology.
Mm,
And the better option than the home device, because it just can't be that strong because you don't want to hurt yourself, is to go in and get GainsWave treatments. GainsWave is it's GainsWave for him, GainsWave for her. And if you go to gainswave.com/Susan, you can get a 7th treatment free, which is a very nice really nice bonus. There are GainsWave practitioners now all over the US. They're moving into Canada, Australia, Europe, but you can also find shockwave providers. That's another name for that acoustic wave. Low level, um, low intensity shockwave is what it is. And I have a book. It's a free download. It's called The Pumping Guide at pumpingguide.com. And it explains GainsWave, the Phoenix, penis pumps, vacuum erection devices, um, taking nitric oxide supplementation, how to microdose with Viagra if you're dependent on Viagra, how to get off of it, all of these different kinds of essentially sexual biohacking for men, reversing atrophy and then regaining function and then even getting into penis enlargement. I've actually helped over 10,000 men enlarge their penis with the Whopper penis pump, and the whole protocol is in that book, exactly how to use it. I do not recommend water pumps, and I do not recommend single cylinder pumps. I recommend the Whopper 2-cylinder air pump system with a really good gauge, because you can overdo it and hurt yourself. And so you really need to follow a protocol. So it's at pumpingguide.com.
Yeah. Fascinating that, because my memory of a pump is Austin Powers. So it was
I
like
can
kind
send
of,
you a pump. I'll have one sent to you.
let's go.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Pumping is so good for you.
I'm in. A pump came with the Phoenix, and I just, I didn't know how to do it. I was like, oh, the pressure can get a little intense. You're like, is this dangerous?
It is. If you over pump, it is. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You can bruise, you can pull the skin, you can,
Yeah.
you can create little edemas. Yeah, you really
Sure.
have to follow the protocols.
Yeah. It's funny. It's fun. I'm so excited about this. I will just offer, I've never told this story online. I don't think I have. When I went through my big cancer experience and my cancer was all up in my belly and all these surgeries and stuff, this one surgery, the retroperitoneal lymph node dissection, they cut through your belly and then sat me down. I was 26 years old. They're like, we got to tell you, we're going to cut through the nerves that are going to your penis. It's very likely you'll never have an erection again. And there were, all these very common side effects of this retroperitoneal lymph node dissection. So they're like, we can tell you one thing that will happen is that you're not going to come anymore. You're going to have a retro ejaculate, and it's going to go into your bladder. Yeah. And so that was very, and it was, talk about trauma. I'm in EMDR therapy right now. I could cry a little bit. I'm in like session 10, and we're doing these, right? So it's very hot for me. I tell everybody I'm squishy. If I start crying, it's not about you. It's something that I'm starting to feel again. So we didn't do anything. We just said that. And then I went in the surgery. I was like, ah! So that happened, it happened. It could get an erection. However, when I would have an orgasm, there was no ejaculate because it was going into your bladder. I was like, God, it feels so wrong. It's like dropping a ball and you expect gravity to take it down, and it goes up. So anyways, this has come back over time, but because of red light therapy and massage and pulsed electromagnetic field, and I have these funds like little direct electrical current, which I have hooked up right now, which I work on all these pelvic floor muscles while we're talking, and I've regrown the nerves. And this is almost 18 years later. So I want to give people hope that it can be, you can recover for some wild stuff. Do you ever talk about this? People that go through different life-changing things and surgeries coming back from a plate. I've never talked to anybody about this. So have at it, Susan.
And I honestly think too, Freddie, that GainsWaves could be very, very helpful for you, because the acoustic wave doesn't just do the actual penis that's sticking out. That's only about half of your penis. The other half of your penis goes in and down. I call it the buried shaft. So your whole erectile tissue structures are these 3 long tubes, and half of them are sticking out of your abdomen and half they continue on and down towards your testicles. And then all those nerves that innervate the penis as well as the prostate, they go in around the base of the penis, and they put the acoustic waves down there. And then the other thing that is also very interesting is PRP has been commonly used. People have heard of the P shot or Priapus shot, but I've done a lot of PRP exosomes and stem cells for various injuries in my body. Like last year, I had all my both my ACLs and MCLs ripped because COVID gave me a lot of soft tissue damage of my
Mm.
tendons and ligaments. And I have gotten stem cell therapy, and I just got back from a week of skiing, and I got my function fully back, and my ACLs and MCLs are regrowing. They're like 20% are shooting out of my bone and growing back toward each other again.
Wow.
So if you can, I always like to talk about what I call, sexual regenerative therapies
Mm.
like GainsWave, penis pumping, PRP exosomes, stem cells, nitric oxide supplementation, all of those kinds of things. And I would also look into peptides for tissue damage and things like that. All of those components, they work very synergistically. So doing kind of all of them together. So I love that you're doing the TENS for nerve reparation and remediation. I'd also look at, because vascular supply, your nerves need the capillaries and the blood supply to be there or they won't grow. So you could be
Mm-hmm.
sitting here doing all your TENS work and not getting enough blood flow to the pelvic bowl. Like literally just take, I'll send you my nitric oxide supplement. It's called Flow. And I also have these new energy bars called the Desire Bar, and it has 200 milligrams of cacao polyphenols in it, and it has 3 grams of maca in it. And things like the cacao polyphenols, those are flavonoids. And what they really do is they help with blood flow. So the more blood flow you can get to your pelvic bowl, the better the nerves will repair, because you get nerve retraction, neuropathy, from the loss of the capillaries at the edges. One of the
Mm.
biggest things that GainsWave does for a lot of guys, older guys, they have sensation loss. It's difficult for them to achieve climax. And when you do the GainsWave acoustic wave treatment, you're stimulating new tissue growth. You're essentially cleaning the plaque off of the penile arteries,
Mm-hmm.
and you get more blood flow in with that new tissue growth. The capillaries start to grow out, and then the nerves grow more, so you can feel the pleasure again. So all of that is really helpful for the entire pelvic system. Another thing that's also good is whole body vibration, or Emsella chairs, or things like
Mm-hmm.
that, because they're like getting everything moving in there. That's like the prostate massage tool. Also good for that, because it's
Yeah.
getting the tissue moving and bringing the blood flow in. Also, more orgasms are good for that, because it's getting blood flow over and over and over. You want to focus on the blood carrying capacity of your penis.
Mm.
You want your penis to have really nice firmness and veininess. If your penis doesn't have nice big veins running down it, keep working on it, because that's a signal that your blood flow to your pelvic bowl is getting better and better and better. And that's the blood carrying capacity that's fueling the tissue and fueling the sensation.
Yeah. Great reminder. Man, it's so aren't our bodies amazing?